Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by Paychex, one of the leading providers of HR, payroll, retirement, and software solutions for businesses of all sizes. My name is Steve Boese. Access and affordability of childcare weighing on U.S. workers. The COVID-19 pandemic challenged the economy and the workforce like no other event before, and for childcare in particular, its lingering effects have continued to leave a lasting impact. During the early pandemic years, many daycare locations shuttered. Most schools shifted to remote learning, and parents attempted to juggle their children with their jobs. It was an exceedingly difficult few years for working parents, especially those with school-aged children and younger. While employment in the childcare sector has made a post-pandemic return to the baseline level of late 2019, according to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a shortage of workers and available spaces for children in some areas is still weighing on the childcare sector and forcing parents to make some difficult decisions. Costs are going up for families. A February report from Bank of America showed costs for families increased around 15% to nearly 30% in terms of average childcare payments per household year over year during the fourth quarter of 2023. And the largest increase was seen among households with average incomes of between $100,000 and $250,000 annually. Policy advocates argue that childcare, including for infants and toddlers, is an economic issue that affects all Americans, not just those with young children. Billions in stabilization funds from the American Rescue Plan Act earmarked for the childcare sector expired last fall, which has led to increased costs for families and many centers closing their doors. Some industry watchers estimate that in 2023, the nation's infant-toddler childcare crisis cost the U.S. an estimated $122 billion in lost earnings, productivity, and revenue. And that's up from $57 billion in 2018, before the pandemic exposed and exacerbated holes in the system for working families and the companies that rely on them. Solutions to the childcare crisis have proved challenging, but most experts agree that part of the solution involves supporting the workforce behind the workforce, otherwise known as early childcare providers. Support for the early childhood workforce could include such things as making sure childcare providers can give their workers access to benefits. Additionally, installing programs that support ongoing training and education for childcare providers are important as well. Much as investment in employee skills and career growth are important retention and engagement drivers in most other industries. Many childcare centers would like to hire more staff to support operations and open up more spaces for children, but they often find it difficult to find candidates who fit and to be able to offer competing wages in the current environment. Childcare centers are often competing with scores of other service-type employers and even struggling with the increasing wage demands and regulations which have pushed up wages overall. And the lack of affordable childcare options significantly impacts women's employment participation especially. The lack of affordable childcare options significantly impacts women's employment participation especially. Over the past 2 decades, women's labor force participation in the United States has made only slow progress, partly due to the high cost of childcare. One study from the American Progress Center estimated a 13% decline in the employment of mothers with children under age 5 due to rising childcare costs. And some estimates suggest that more than half the U.S. population lives in childcare deserts, where a lack of childcare options leads to maternal labor force participation rates that are 3 percentage points lower than expected. For U.S. policymakers and business leaders, addressing affordable childcare is crucial for promoting women's workforce participation and for the longer-term success and stability of the U.S. economy overall. We'll continue to cover the important topics and trends in the world of work here on the HR Happy Hour Media Network. That's it for the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors.